Hello big shavers and YouTubers, Paul here. Today I'm going to be doing a shave for you with a couple of different items. First off, I'm going to be using a Gillette old style open comb razor. This is a single ring and it's been replated in shiny nickel. And I've been using this razor pretty much all week this week. I've really enjoyed this razor since getting it. Decided I'd go ahead and use it for pretty much for a full week just to get used to it, and I really like this razor. I find this to be a little bit more aggressive than the new style Gillette open comb razor. So there it is. I have loaded in that razor a Kai blade. There they are. The Kai blades are made in Japan. Same place, or they're also supposed to be a high performance blade, something on the order of a feather, so I'm anxious to give those a try. I'm going to be using my customized Shavemac D01 Flat top brush, and I'm going to be using that to lather up some Arko that I have pressed into this metal bowl, and I had a request to do a shave with the Arko, and I'm going to be fortifying that with a little mentholated glycerin that I made. This is the pretty much followed the instructions that John Halleck on the Big Shave gave. So there it is. I have some requests to use that, so I'm going to go ahead and do it, and we'll see how that works. I've already applied pre-shave to my face. I'm using the Razorock White today, and I'm going to go ahead and start lathering this soap. I'm just going to take a little of the glycerin and I'm just going to pour it on top of the soap. Just a little bit there. And so this is glycerin that I've infused with menthol. The menthol crystals were dissolved in alcohol, and then they were added to the glycerin and mixed together. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my D01 brush. I'm just going to shake it out a little bit. There you go, just a little bit. This brush really is pretty dense, holds a lot of water. So as you can see, there's a lot of water still in the brush. I'm just going to kind of let that spill into the sink, and then the soap's going to start frothing up. Most of this bubbly, watery stuff I'm just going to let go into the sink, and I'm just going to keep swirling that until the soap starts to create a lather on the puck that looks like it is thick enough to use to shave. And so I'll just keep doing that. And of course, this being Arko, this stuff lathers like crazy. Pretty simple to lather. But this is pretty much a technique I'm using for all my hard soaps. And because I do have super duper hard water, have well water here, it's very highly rich in calcium, and it does make some soaps hard to lather. So this is pretty much a technique I'll use, and so that's pretty much what I'm looking for. And I'll just I take a pretty wet brush. I don't think it matters how much water's in the brush when you put it to the puck, because most of it you're just going to let dribble out into the sink. And I just keep swirling it, and then once the soap water ratio reaches a good level, you're going to get this nice creamy soap. So there you have it. And it probably is not the most, probably is a little bit wasteful, probably uses more product, but really, for me, I don't really care. You know, I'm not trying to conserve soap. I have enough soap and creams here to last me probably for the next 10 years. So if I use a little bit more product for any one shave, it's not going to really make any difference. Plus, this is Arko. This stuff is dirt cheap. So I don't think, you know, going a little overboard on that is any big deal. So anyways, that's what I'll do. So there I have the brush loaded, and I'll just go ahead and start lathering this on my face. And then I can adjust the water further on my face if I need to. Depends on the soap. Some soaps will require some extra water, some will not. and I found that this the Arko sometimes will require a little extra water. However, it looks like this is probably going to be pretty good right here. And I pretty much, like I said, I will use the same technique for Mitchell's Wool Fat, you know, Mike's, any of my hard soaps, Art of Shaving, Taylor of Old Bond Street, whatever it is, I'll use that same technique, and I can usually get a pretty consistent, thick, creamy lather with that. I'm just going to add a little bit more water to it. And usually you'll end up with enough soap there on the brush for, you know, 3 or 4 passes. Alright, so there you go. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get started with the shave. So the Gillette, as I said, this Gillette old style open comb to me seems and feels more aggressive than the new style or the new open comb. And I kind of like the feel of this razor. I think it seems to shave pretty well. So first pass, Kai blade feels pretty good. Usually the first pass is not really going to be too telling for me. Because it doesn't really matter what blade I use on the first pass. It's going to feel pretty much pretty good any way you cut it. Going with the grain, it doesn't really put much stress on the blade. You really can't tell, unless the blade is just really terrible. It's like I got a little weeper there over my Adam's apple because I wasn't stretching, I was kind of rushing a little bit, and if I'm going to get a weeper or a nick, that's the spot it's going to be. I really normally should kind of pull the skin to the side, but I was rushing it a little bit here, and so going against the grain on the neck, a little bit of tugginess with the Kai blade. You can see right there. Okay, grab a little of the. You know, people have asked what I use for nick relief. I will usually use this Razorock gel, this styptic gel. Seems to work pretty good. So if I can get it a little bit out of the tube. Alright, we'll see how that goes. Pass number 3. Well, I can tell you, even using a little of the mentholated glycerin, I'm not really getting a big menthol kick with this. Um, I gotta add a little more water to the soap. It's kind of drying out a little bit here. Okay, there we go. So again, you can see there's plenty of soap in that brush. This is pass number 3. Still got quite a bit of soap in the brush. So when I was showing pictures of this flat top brush on the Facebook group, people were asking me how does this compare to a regular fan. And what I would say is that basically, if I were to close my eyes, I probably couldn't tell the difference just by the way it feels necessarily. But just in general, with fans, I feel like because the brush is a little flatter on top, it feels like, at least to me, that there's more bristles or hair coming in contact with your skin. And so it gives the impression or the feeling that there's the knot is actually bigger than what it truly is. So, and the other thing I kind of feel with these brushes is that because it's fairly or more level and there's more bristles on coming in contact with the skin, the knot tends to feel a little bit softer. And even though this is the D01 knot and it has good backbone, and as you can see, the brush splays a little bit, but this thing has really good backbone, and it doesn't feel as prickly as sometimes a more rounded knot will feel with the longer hairs in the middle and shorter hairs on the outside. So anyways, that's my feeling about it. I really like the way this brush works. It's a little odd looking with that really super flat top, but it feels great on the face and it lathers really nicely, and it's very comfortable to use. So I'm so far really impressed with this this particular brush. So okay. So going almost full against the grain, the cut does not feel too tuggy really. Feels pretty good. Feels pretty smooth. It kind of like that one across the grain pass, it felt a little bit, just ever so slightly tuggy, but I'm just going to clean up here a little bit. Going full against the grain, not bad at all. Okay, pretty good. Alright, so there we have it. The Arko soap with the mentholated glycerin. Just a tiny hint of glycerin or a tiny hit of menthol on the face. Not really all that noticeable, to be honest with you. But the Arko, as always, lathers really well. Unfortunately, even the mentholated glycerin soap doesn't really alter the smell. The smell of the Arko still wins out there. As many of you know, the Arko is not a luxurious smelling soap. It's a kind of a clean, industrial kind of no-nonsense sort of smell. Maybe a little citrusy, but nothing to write home about. I'm not a huge fan of the smell. I don't mind it. It doesn't repulse me like it does some people. But the performance of the soap is great. There's no question about it. So one little nick here over the Adam's apple. Just not paying attention. You can see there's another little red spot there from before. That's another little nick previously that I got from, again, not pulling the skin to the side and just letting the razor ride over my Adam's apple. Even though you don't see it stick out, there's a little bump right there. And when I'm shaving down, I always tend to catch that bump unless I pull the skin aside. So, anyways, you'd think I'd learn after all this time, but sometimes you just are rushing, and that's what you get. But no big deal. It'll heal. No harm. So I'm going to go ahead and just use my homemade aftershave balm. This is a combination of aloe vera gel, witch hazel, eucalyptus essential oil, tea tree essential oil, and patchouli essential oil. And this also has some menthol added to it as well. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. I've put it in this blue dispenser bottle, and you just spray it out. It's fairly liquidy. Actually smells pretty good, and this definitely has a nice kick to it. The menthol, I think I added maybe more menthol to this than that glycerin, and you can really feel it. And this is really refreshing, and just a combination of those essential oils really seems to work good together. And I'm just going to top that off with a little Razorock 888. I don't know if you can see that. 888 aftershave wax. This is the eucalyptus aftershave wax. I am a big fan of the Razorock products. The aftershave wax is really nice stuff. It works really well. I like the 888 smell. I'm probably a bigger fan of the original smell. It's got a little bit more of a pine smell to it, and I kind of like that. Although I think there's a lavender one as well. And so there's some different choices for you if you're not too into pine or eucalyptus. But stuff moisturizes nicely, feels great on the face. I will always use it after an aftershave, but it could certainly be used by itself as an aftershave. And there you go. So real comfortable shave today, aside from one little nick. But hope you guys enjoyed it, and have a great weekend. See you soon. Bye.